Noong day one po, mismo ang presiding officer na si Senator Chis Escudero ang nagbigay linaw na tungkol doon sa threshold, no? And kahapon, muli siyang tinanong kung yun ba ay opinion lang or magiging ano na, kumbaga parang magiging ruling na ng impeachment trial at kinonfirm nga ito ng presiding officer. So, wala na tayong dapat pag-usapan pa sa threshold at hindi na ito mababago or pwede pa ito mababago sa pag-usad ng impeachment trial attorney sa kanila mismo dyan sa impeachment court?
On that score, Admar, I give credit to Senator Chis Escudero sa paglilinaw na ginawa niya. Paglilinaw, pero sa ating mga abogado, hindi na kailangan no need to clarify further kasi klarong-klaro naman din sa Constitution na yung threshold is always 16 or 2/3 of the members of the Senate. And by precedence, no, sa lahat ng mga impeachment trials in the past, ganun naman din talaga yung threshold. So ang tanong ngayon, kung pinaghihiritan na ibababa mo yung threshold, bakit? May precedence na. In all lahat, from panahon ng dating Pangulong Estrada, ni Chief Justice Corona, lahat. So ibig sabihin, why would you change the rules now? Because they have been very faithful to the provision of the Constitution in the past. So there is only one obvious reason para medyo madali na ang paghahatol ng conviction laban kay VP Sara. I hope they will not tinker with that again. Pinaghihiritan, mahirap na paghihiritan kasi we are now again violating the Constitution insofar as that point of the threshold vote or conviction is concerned, or acquittal for that matter.
Opo, nabanggit mo si Vice President Sara Duterte. Ano naman po yung inyo pong magiging opinion ukol nga po doon sa kanyang maikli pero malaman na pahayag na hinungot niya sa Invictus, "In this bloodbath and bludgeoning, I will be blooded but unbowed." Maraming salamat, Attorney.
I fully agree with that. Maintindihan ko yung VP Presidente. Alam naman din natin sa karamihan who have been following this episode in her life. I'm referring to the impeachment against her. Talagang binubugbog siya. At pag tinatanong siya, maikli lang ang sinasabi niya. Kung pwede nga lang, hindi na siya sasagot eh. So if you would try to look at, kayo na nasa media, from last year until now, ilang beses ba lumalabas yung House Prosecutor o yung House of Representatives para bugbugin yung Vice Presidente sa harap ng publiko, sa harap ng media? I-compare mo yung katiting na mga instances ng Vice Presidente na lumabas sa media, sa publiko, na magkomento sa kanyang kaso. Malayong malayo po. Kaya I fully agree na talagang binubugbog siya. Pero knowing her character, she will be unbowed till the end.
Opo, at matapos nga po ito ay na nagkaroon ng pagnanais ang prosekusyon or paglilinaw kung magiging witness ba or magiging hostile witness ba or maaari bang maipatawag. Nagkaroon siya ng paglilinaw po doon sa impeachment court. Sa tingin niyo po, mauobliga ba ng kung halimbawa sinasabi naman na meron siyang mga legal doon, yung nasa depensa niya, mauobliga ba ng impeachment court na mapatawag ang sinasakdal po, Attorney?
Depende po yan sa impeachment court. If they find the need to give given the need based on the reasoning of the argument of the prosecution asking her to be a hostile witness, Pero iisa lang yung nakikita, merong pumasok sa isip sa ngayon. Bakit mo ipapatawag yung inaakasa mo titistigo para sa iyo? Napaisip lang ako, kulang ba yung ebidensya nila? Insofar as the evidence that they're trying to present before the impeachment court, na kailangan nilang ipapatawag yung inaakuso nila para titistigo para sa kanila. And you don't expect the respondent, even if she will be called as a hostile witness, you don't expect her
Opo.
to testify against of the prosecution who called a hostile witness. So, napapatanong lang ako why why the prosecutor or the prosecution would call on her to be a hostile witness. Kaya napaisip lang ko, kulang ba yung ebidensya nila?
Dito po sa kahapon man, may motion po ang depensa na exclude itong testimonya nitong kanilang unang inipresentang agent na si Kalilong. Pero dinenied ito ng presiding officer citing the case of Inrayli versus Sandigan Bayan po. Kasi ang motion nila, hindi po daw kasali itong doon sa articles of impeachment na unang inihain po, no, itong si Kalilong po, attorney. Ano po masasabi niyo rito?
I like to take a step back. Yung if you look at the trial now, it emanated from the House, and if you look at it similar to what is happening in our rules of court, ito po ay tinatawag nating preliminary investigation. There's been a lot of discussion on this one when the case was still with the House Justice Committee. So, ibig sabihin, kung anong na-file at ipresenta ng complainant, yun lang po yung ebidensya na pwede mong dadalhin sa korte for that matter. So, kung totoo man na wala si Kalilong doon sa Justice House Committee, when they were still deliberating on the basis of the evidence that were brought before the House Justice Committee, tama lang na you would object to these evidence that are now brought before the impeachment court. Kasi nga wala doon, they did not present it during the committee hearing in the House of Representatives. But that being the case, the final arbiter as to whether a piece of evidence may be presented, not necessarily admitted in evidence, but presented para susuriin ng senator judges, nasa impeachment court po yan to decide.
Opo.